and see who is succeeding or has succeeded in the past, and look to those people and kind of like create a little list of them, start following them, start seeing what they're doing on social media. I definitely think, commenting, making them aware of you before you just jump right in and be like, hey, mentor me. Take some time, a few weeks to follow and see what they're doing, interact with them, make sure that they know who you are. But definitely research and finding those, top influencers in your niche is helpful. And then also you want to network, in the community, and outside of it, as far as, who you might decide you want as a mentor. And I mentioned that it doesn't necessarily have to be someone, an OnlyFans creator. It can be someone who is very successful in other fields of marketing, online business, etc., who can, mentor you. So you want to network outside of, OnlyFans, also within, business, the business community. Anyone who has had success that can apply back to what you're trying to do for OnlyFans. And then you want to go ahead and identify a few possible mentors. So at this point, you want to narrow the list, and you want to say, okay, well, I have a list of 3 or 4 people that possibly could be, a mentor. And I will say this as kind of a caveat. You don't necessarily have to have them guiding you at all times. So if it's difficult for you to have a one-on-one, or you can't end up getting someone to decide, okay, I want to mentor you, you can emulate from what people have written. So obviously there's a lot of people who have written books, they run podcasts, they've put a lot of material out there into the world for you, and they've had success. And you might not be able to get them to be your mentor, but you can just emulate, see, what they have done. So if you can't get it all, if you can't get someone to actually reach out and spend time with you, you can take that time and say, okay, well, I'm just going to research everything that they've put out there into the world and emulate from that. But it's certainly better to have a one-on-one mentor relationship, but it also is time consuming for both parties. Okay, so next you want to clarify your goals of having a mentor. So, you want to, because you're going to reach out to someone, and you want to make sure that you know what it is you want to gain from the mentor-mentee relationship. That way, when you approach someone, to be your mentor, you'll have that in mind of what expectations you have, as far as what you expect to get from the mentor and the relationship into itself. Okay, and then you want to look for similar personalities, someone who you can stand to talk to interact with. This is someone you will want to see or to speak with. So, regularly. So it's best not to pick someone that you would not click very well with and, doesn't, speak respectfully to you, or, you know what I mean? Like, you don't want something, no matter how good somebody is, you don't necessarily want like an abusive type, mean, relationship just because you're able to get so much from them. Not worth it. You have a lot of other things, on your plate. You don't need that kind of, stress. So you definitely want someone that you can get along with, verbally, and, kind of see eye to eye, with. And then now you want to reach out to the right people. So now that you've identified your goals, possible mentors, what you, want from them. So you want to go ahead and reach out, and, just say, hey, I'm curious, if, I can ask you if I can bounce off some questions off you. You seem like someone who really, has it all together. Would you be interested maybe in, just being, support for me? And again, you don't have to deluge someone with, everything like, let's get married, and you haven't even started dating. I mean, you can reach out and say, hey, I really admire what you're doing. I was just curious if I could bounce some questions off you. And then over time, they might enjoy the relationship that they have with you. And you might, bring up, oh, I want this to be more consistent as far as, mentor-mentee relationship. And then you might want to consider offering to pay them. Obviously, not everyone has a lot of extra money. Fully understand that. But again, this is them, giving you their time and their expertise. So you might want to consider at least, offering something, in return to them to kind of sweeten the pot as far as them devoting their time to you. And as I mentioned, if the mentor-mentee relationship isn't possible for you either from a time perspective, or you can't find somebody who is able to devote that time, just look to people who have written, who are writing, who are, on the pulse, and, emulate what they're doing to the best of your ability, from what they're writing, from what they're speaking about. They could have a great TED Talk and you could just say, okay, let me write down everything that I'm getting here from them. And it's sort of like a virtual mentorship. If that's the best you can do, it's still better than not, having that. So definitely, those were some ways to look over, as far as like picking a mentor. But if you can have, that's ideal, having that mentor. But if you can have that secondary virtual, mentorship, that's, pretty good too. Okay, so those were some benefits of an OnlyFans mentor. I hope this episode was helpful to you guys. Again, my name is Richard Lewis. I am the founder of OnlyFans Hero and an upcoming platform called Stripper.fan. You can find this podcast on Instagram at OnlyFans Secrets Podcast. You can also find us on Reddit at the subreddit of r/OnlyFans Secrets, which is a marketing community on Reddit. You can find us on OnlyFans itself at onlyfans.com/OnlyFansHero. Please subscribe and follow us for free on there, and you'll get the latest updates on this podcast. We're also on TikTok now at OF Secrets Podcast. And as always, you can find us on Twitter at OnlyFans Hero, where we run an hourly free promotion for OnlyFans creators, continuing to grow by 500 plus followers a day, both creators and subscribers following us on there. So please jump on to OnlyFans Hero and take advantage of that free promotion. And as always, you can reach out to me directly at OnlyFans Hero. If you have any questions about the podcast, have any ideas, any episodes that you'd like to see, just please, let me know. I would love that. And as always, please leave reviews for this podcast wherever you can. If you just want to hop on OnlyFans and let me know how you liked an episode, that's great. If you're on, Apple or Spotify and able to leave a review on there, that's great as well. Really appreciate it. And, please, continue listening to this podcast. I appreciate it so much. Please subscribe and follow us on Spotify and Apple whenever you can. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.